Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Infield Chatter Podcast. My name's Tyler. With me, as always, is Eric. What's up, Eric?
What's up, Tyler? How are you?
Dude, I'm doing good. It's we're out of the All-Star break, and we're in the second half of the season. It's the most exciting time of baseball.
Things are gearing up. I think this is the most exciting time of baseball. Trying to see who's buying, who's selling, who's trading, who's trying to boost up their rosters for the postseason runs, trying to see what teams have given up completely, aka the Cardinals. I think it's great. I think it's more fun than October almost. The lead up to the trade deadline.
Yeah, and especially I understand like the season's long. You know, it's hard to like have context. I think sometimes of like, oh, do wins and losses matter? But like now that we're in the second half of the season, like it really matters. It's not just kind of like you're building wins. It's like you either have them or you don't. So I love it.
Yeah.
I'm all about this time of the year.
No, I'm even from the perspective that every single win matters, even in those games in April where people are like, oh, no, it's just the beginning of the season. It's not going to matter, because I think it does, because I have been the fan of the Cubs, and even the Cubs have had to play a 163 game tiebreaker. Like if it comes down to your whole season and you have to play a tiebreaker, that game you lost in April mattered.
Yeah. Well,
so
you got some good foresight then. Hindsight, or whatever the hell that
nobody
is.
wants to play game 163. I'll tell you that.
I agree. So have you been to any games recently? I've been to a few. I talked about my blunder with Miles Straw, but any games recently?
I hit up the Colorado Rockies versus the New York Yankees at Coors Field on Sunday.
I believe the Yankees lost that series.
It was, and one of the Yankees commentators even said that it may have been one of the best baseball games he had seen in decades. It was quite the riot. I'm not.
Were you
lie.
at the extra innings one?
Yeah. It was 11 innings. Yeah, so Garrett Cole, starting pitcher for the Yankees. He broke the franchise record for 10-plus strikeouts for the Yankees. He stands alone in that category. He was mowing them down. It was 1-0 Rockies for a long time. The Rockies had 2 hits, but one of them was a home run. And up until maybe the 5th inning, the Yankees fans in Coors Field were completely silent, because we all know how awful these Yankees fans are.
Mm-hmm.
But then they eventually went up a couple of runs. It was quite the eventful game. They went up a couple of runs, and immediately this drunk girl, the Yankees fan, one section over, flipping off everybody, just giving everybody the finger, and then
getting too cocky.
So people started throwing shit at her. And then she went and narked to the security, like, "You're throwing shit, you're throwing shit, and it was like, lady, you were just drunk and flipping off at everybody, and then everybody got kicked out. And then later in the game, some other shit happened in the section, and the police made an appearance along the aisle. 4 or 5 officers had to show up for the Yankees fans. Little side action. You know how Yankees fans be. But
can't bring them anywhere.
You can't take them anywhere. So it's the most disgraceful organization that there is, I think, personally. But they were out in full effect.
For sure.
Yeah. I really don't know what causes it, but the police had to show up in section 206 by the end of the game.
Jesus.
And but there was eventually the Yankees go up. I mentioned that. Lady starts flipping everybody off, and then Rockies hit a go-ahead grand slam. What's up? And then a couple of innings after that, they throw the ball all the way around the infield, classic Colorado Rockies style, and the Yankees score 2 runs on a wild throw and tie the game up. And then it goes to extras. And then in the 11th, the Yankees went up 2 runs. And I think it was the 11th.
It was
the last, yeah. And then the Rockies, bottom of the 11th, 2-run home run to tie it, 1-run home run to walk it off, baby.
And I think that was
start spreading that news.
I think that was the that player's first home run of the season.
First home run of the season, yeah, was the walk off in the 11th. And so
that's gotta feel so good to be like, yeah, I was just saving it, you know.
It was a beautiful moment. I still just got chills retelling the story. Like, I was just sitting there watching. We had tickets in the shade the whole time, so we weren't getting roasted. So we were just having a pleasant day. And I'm not you know me, I'm not the biggest Rockies guy, but I loved seeing the Yankees lose. So and then as a Cub fan, I did get to see Anthony Rizzo and Kris Bryant hanging out together. At one point, Kris got a single, so they were hanging out at first base together, probably talking about going to the Taylor Swift concert together the night before. So because Swift was in town for 2 nights. I guarantee you, Rizzo and Kris Bryant were at that one of those two, if not both shows. So
I can see that they're Swifties. I mean, I'm sure
oh
there
yeah,
was plenty of times, riding on the bus together. Both, they got one earbud of each, just
oh
rocking
yeah,
to some T Swift. I could
oh
see it.
yeah. Because for starters, if you're not a Swiftie, you're wrong. And then for
She's saving
years,
the economy. Okay,
she
look it
really
up.
is. Yeah, yeah. This tour is going to generate more money than some countries have. But Rizzo's for a long time. Rizzo's walk up music was Bad Blood, so he's a Swiftie. He has no shame about it whatsoever.
That rules.
So I guarantee you they were at. I was piecing that together while they were. I was like, oh, they were for sure at the Taylor Swift concert. So.
And I'm sure there's like team rule, like, hey, you're not supposed to be at any like events like that, or I don't know. There's probably not.
I
but
think you're allowed to hang out. You're allowed to hang out.
I don't know what I meant, but yeah, I'm sure I didn't. We'll have to do some picture Instagram research on that at some point, but
Yeah.
I can see it.
Do your thing, internet. Find out where they were. I bet it was at the Taylor Swift. I didn't have time to look at their stories, but I'm pretty sure. I can almost guarantee you they were checking out one. I would have been there if I could afford it. So they can afford it. So
Yeah, it's just a small mortgage, no big deal.
right, like 3 months rent. I don't know.
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars to go T Swift.
Well, did you have any balls come your way that you missed? That's what people really want to know.
No, not today. We were in the we do like to get seats in the right field home run section, but we were not. Nothing came our way. We were kind of hoping for Rizzo to hit one up, but he didn't. So
Dang.
all the home runs went to center field. But there were a couple balls hit to the deepest part of the ballpark. We missed some of these guys. There was 2 guys missed a home run by a foot, probably because they chose the deepest section to hit it to. But
Oh,
no
interesting.
exciting.
Interesting.
No exciting balls. We were too far in the shade to get any action anyway. I'll take the shade over the home run ball when it's 100 degrees out.
Yeah, it barely comes to why change your whole lifestyle unless you're Zach Campbell. There's no need to be worrying about it. So
that's right. No hot dogs either. I went with brisket nachos this time because there was surprisingly no line. So
hey, no rules say you have to have it every time. It should be. It's probably a should be, but I get the line.
When the Yankees come to town in Coors Field, it's one of the situations where it rarely will sell out the ballpark. So it was fucking packed because the Rockies can't sell the place out, but the Yankees can. And so I was in line. I was gonna get 2 hot dogs, but I saw the hot dogs were moving faster than they were being cooked this time. So I was like, I'm not gonna eat I was like, you enjoy your food poisoning, Yankees country.
That could have been the plan, maybe. That's what they should have done. Anyone wearing like a Rockies jersey, they're like, hey, by the way, don't eat the hot dogs from section 205.
They weren't looking cooked. And so I went downstairs. There's a smokehouse with a brewery that is like off the concourse that nobody really knows about. If you're ever at Coors Field, go to the Sandlot Smokehouse there. It's right up the first base line.
Wow, shout out.
Yep.
Awesome.
So,
nice.
That was my day at the ballpark.
Nice. The only thing I didn't go to a game, but all I wanted to make sure I got out there before we got into the bulk of it is last week both Naylor brothers hit a home run. Both hit a 2-run home run in the same inning. It's the first time since like the 1900s that 2 brothers have hit a home run in the same game. I don't think there's anyone that's had 2 brothers hit it in the exact same inning. That seems very unlikely, but who knows? Back in the day when the barnstorming leagues were around, you could have a whole family on a team, and it, maybe that's what happened. But either way, it was great. I'm so happy for the Nailers. They're such a fun thing, and I hope they live in Cleveland forever.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you got a couple of homegrown heroes over there in Cleveland.
Well, and their youngest brother just got drafted by the A's, 39th overall.
Bring him up. Yeah, get a little hot trade going. Get him on the Guardians right now. We'll have first base, Naylor, second base, Naylor, third base, Naylor.
One's a catcher, but yeah, I get it.
I know.
Okay. Yeah, and then other Guardians news, Shane Bieber's out for like 2 weeks. They said he didn't have to get surgery, but it's like inflamed and stuff. So probably going to stay for the rest of the year. And people were thinking they were going to trade him. It's kind of hard to trade a guy with an inflamed elbow. So
yeah, nobody really wants that.
No.
Except for maybe the Mets. The Mets might take him. They're really good at bad deals.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you're almost about to get hurt. Let's get you on the squad. Move you up to New York.
That's right. That's good. I have some updates as well. It's trade. The trade deadline's in 2 weeks, so
Coming.
things are moving. Things are shaking. Some teams need help. Some teams have no hope. You know,
The Royals, we're looking at you. The
the
A's, we're
Royals,
looking
right?
at
The
you.
A's, yeah. Because I mostly wrote down. I have teams that need some shit. The Rays need some pitching. If the Rays get a couple more pitchers, probably the bullpen. Their bullpen needs help. Maybe one more starter, something like that. They don't really need any more offense. Very similar to the Reds. If the Reds get a pitcher or two starting pitching, they're gonna be right back on top in the Central because the
Yeah,
Brewers.
because their pitchers got hurt early in the season. Like the guy that I really like a lot from them, Hunter Green.
Yeah,
He was hurt early in the season and he's still not back, and that's a huge loss for them right now.
yeah, because they surged with with that hot rookie and
Ellie De La Cruz.
Joey Votto coming back. If they get some pitching, because the Brewers snuck up into first in the Central Division, and we all know that they're about to make a trade where they send their best player away. So
Mhm.
they did that last year. I don't know what's going to stop them this year, but I low key see the Reds taking the NL Central. I'm not going to lie at this point. If they boost up their roster, they got it. The Rangers could use more pitching. I know they just added a role
Yep.
as Chapman, but if the Rangers get another couple more bullpen arms, maybe a starter, they seem to be probably the underdog of the whole season. I didn't think they were really going to go the distance, but
They
they
have the
get some
most
pitching.
runs batted in the league right now. They have the most hits in the league right now as a team. They have the best batting average as a team right now. Like the Rangers are like sneaky good.
Right.
Not even sneaky.
If the Braves get one more starting pitcher, you could be looking at a Braves Rangers World Series right there.
True.
The Astros don't really need to make
So
any
you
moves.
don't think the Cubs have any chance of making a last season surge?
The Cubs are probably going to sell. I'm not going to lie. When it comes to the Cubs, the trade rumors are Cody Bellinger's going to break my heart. He was only on a 1-year contract anyway. That might turn into a half a season contract with the Cubs for Cody Bellinger.
I hope he was here long enough to see the architectural tour. Jesus.
Right. It's not even enough time to hit all the good hot dog restaurants in town. But he's on the chopping block. And then Stroman, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were going to personally, I'd keep him. But I don't know why you would get rid of your best pitcher. But he's also on the trade rumors. Bellinger and Stroh are the two talks of the town to be leaving Chicago. So, but they're not doing great. I don't see them being contenders. So they're not even that.
It's weird. It's sad seeing that Pittsburgh has made such a fall from grace to being 11 games back when it wasn't that long ago. We were like, wow, the Pirates in
Pittsburgh
first place.
Might do it. Yeah,
they're killing it. And then they got blanked yesterday by the Guardians, like 11-0. So
no, that's not good for your self-esteem.
Yeah, that hurts.
But no, the White Sox will finally be selling. Probably you may see Tim Anderson get traded, which would be a terrible move for the South Side, but. They might blow that up. And then also Liam Hendricks also may get traded. That'd be wild. Liam Hendricks comes back, beats cancer, gets traded, wins the World Series. That may happen. That's on his docket.
I'd be curious if they try to get rid of Dylan Cease as well, because he's always been really consistent, and somebody might need him or like him.
That squad had been walking the line the last couple years, and then by losing Abreu, I don't know. I thought last year was their chance, and they didn't really do anything this year. They lost some valuable pieces, and now it's like it might unfortunately be the time where you break up that team,
right,
and try to rebuild. So, and then what do we got? The Mariners. If the Mariners get a good bat, aka Shohei Ohtani,
I still would love to see him there, but I don't think there's a chance he's gonna go. I think he's just gonna go right to the Dodgers. Don't even have to change your zip code.
Yeah,
just kind of keep it going.
Saw trade rumors that said he was not going to the Dodgers, but that does make sense to be an easy move. No
one wants to move across the country. It's very cumbersome.
That's the only other thing. But I mean, like, where would he go? If you're gonna trade Shohei Ohtani, who are you trading him to? Like, you want to get the most you can get, because you better get a pitcher and a hitter. You better be getting two all-star players.
When I've heard of hypothetical packages, I've heard prospects better be there, a couple major league ready baseball players, both sides of the ball. Yeah,
maybe a Bentley or two on the back end.
A couple of free giveaway bucket hat nights they have to guarantee.
But I don't like his. I mean, it's hard to speculate even what team he would go to because you would want to have to, if you were serious about acquiring him, you would be a contender. But which team? Which team would the Dodgers are not doing well enough, I don't think. Well, I guess maybe they are. I guess I did have that written down. Oh, that's right. They're in first right now by 2 games. So the Dodgers would make sense because they need him.
And
But
someone else mentioned this that from an interview I was listening to. You know, some teams just like, you know, that they're going to get into the playoffs, right? Like that's cool. They'll at least get
right.
into a round. But you want to be someone that somewhere that has like a chance to move on. Like there's a
Right.
difference
And they're
between just a playoff team and like an actual contending team.
right,
And
because
that's a big
when it comes
difference.
down to that, there's only one team that's doing phenomenal, that's blowing away the competition, and that's the Braves. They're 10 games up on Miami, but Miami holds the third wild card spot if it came down to the season today. So other than that, like I mean, the NL West, the Dodgers are 2 games ahead of San Francisco. The AL East, Tampa Bay is 1 game ahead of Baltimore. AL West, Texas is 3.5 games ahead of a very injured Houston um, Astros team. Like
Mm-hmm.
they don't currently have Framber Valdez or uh, Altuve. So they're playing without their. I mean, they get Fromber back. It's lights out, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They're right back into first place. So it's like, which one of these teams? If you're really truly trying to assess where to send the best player in the league, it's tough, man. I don't know. Maybe Texas. Maybe Texas would be
Yeah,
nuts.
it'll be interesting to see who has dollar bills to spend as well, because I don't think, like everyone's saying, like obviously everyone's like we're gonna jack this number to the highest amount possible,
Right.
but also like I feel like he'll probably find money out there in other ways, because he's the biggest name in baseball to
Well,
make up
he's
for anything he
well,
thinks or would feel he deserves, you know?
right. Well, this would just be a loaner for the end of the season because then he enters free agency. And so there's even speculation that he may get traded from the Angels and then the Angels will re-sign him again, kind of like what happened with Aroldis Chapman in the 2016 series.
I don't know if
Uh,
you like fun. I guess that's such an.
but
I mean, if you leave, what are the chance? That's why I keep thinking. Like, if you're the Angels, it's like you have one of the best and most like exciting players in baseball. It must be so hard to be like, we're really gonna get rid of him for other things. Like that. I don't
right.
know. That's got to be real tough.
Oh no, it can't be. It can't be a good situation to be in. But unfortunately, that team is just not like you have two of the best players in the world.
Mike Trout's still hurt, so it's like that's not
Yeah,
helping you much. But yeah,
because they don't. I just don't see them getting it together. And then if he's going to be a free agent at the end of the season anyway, he's going to want to go somewhere where he can win.
true.
So I don't know, dude.
Kind of
LA,
jumping, yeah. Kind of
yeah,
jumping backwards. The White Sox are leading the league with their pitchers in number of strikeouts. I did not know that.
I didn't know
Uh,
that either. That's surprising considering they've not winning a lot of games with that.
yeah. Well, anyway, I
But
saw
they
that
have
and
a
it
great
like
pitching
shocked
squad.
me.
Lance Lynn and Dylan Cease are phenomenal, and Lucas Giolito. They have probably my favorite starting rotation in the league is that White Sox team. Lance Lynn is a madman.
Yeah,
He's
he's
nuts.
awesome.
He's straight nuts.
Aaron Judge, I saw is back to practice, taking hits in practice, so that's pretty cool. Oh,
That's
here's the
good.
other story I heard about Shohei Ohtani that somebody was mentioning, like, not every day you do like batting practice outside. You could do it underground pretty easily. And they were like, well, they were playing the Yankees and he's been outside, taking batting practice. So people are also like, maybe that's a sign
Oh
that he's trying to get comfortable with the stadium. I don't know. That could be people just trying to fan the flame of some others' talks, but
nah, he's trying to
of
get
note,
used to that. He's trying to get used to that short right field wall they have there at Yankee Stadium. Trying
yeah.
to see if he can just muscle one over that real quick.
So
Um,
we got anything else?
Uh, no, not a lot. I mean, I think we covered some good stuff. It's going to be a
Yeah,
pretty interesting couple of weeks. The Cardinals are probably looking to sell. That's probably the team with the biggest, the highest profile roster. That's going to be looking to dish some guys. I know they got Paul DeYoung's on the trade, the talk block. Brendan Donovan, Dylan Carlson may end up with the Yankees. I've heard talks of Nolan not particularly being safe, and even Goldschmidt being a possibility. So
yeah, you think if you're Paul Goldschmidt, you're like, dude, we were supposed to be like the top team in our division, and now we're last. Get me out of here if I'm going to
no,
keep hitting like this.
no, it's incredibly shocking to see the Cardinals doing so bad. So you might see some big name guys out of that team onto a better situation. But I think it's going to be a pretty interesting couple of weeks here. So
Yeah, it's
as it
all
always
Wilson
is.
Contreras' fault. So I keep forgetting
It's
that.
not. You quit blaming my boy.
Well, Eric, I wanted to ask you this. So this is the time of the season where, it gets tougher with pitching. Everybody's kind of like dealing with who they have available and like long seasons. So I was thinking a lot about this. Would you prefer being, if you were a pitcher, would you prefer to be like a starter, like pitch every few days, 7 innings? Or do you like that feeling of being like one of the relief pitchers where, every day you're going to go in the game, whether it's like 3 batters, a batter, an inning or two, you're always going to be involved in the day to day, or do you want to have like it stretched out where it's like today is my actual game? Which would you prefer to have?
Great question. I like this a lot. This is something I've actually thought about, having never been a pitcher in my entire life, but I would want to be middle reliever for sure, like the 8th inning guy. Like the Pedro
the
Strop,
feature
the
act of the
that's right.
of the game.
Like somebody comes in, sets it up for 6-7 innings. You come in, you get 3 outs. The closer comes in, you shut it down. That's what I want to be, that 8th inning guy. It's like the no stakes, I didn't do the big work to get here. I'm just trying to get a hold. I'm not trying to get the save, and then no pressure for the save. And then plus the closer doesn't always pitch every day. It's got to be a save situation. If they're up by 3-5 runs, you're going to get the day off. I think I'd like to be more engaged and know that I'm going to play.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, I like that answer. My
what
answer is I want to be the 9th inning closer.
You want to be the 9th inning guy.
Oh yeah, give me it like this is it, now or never. Give it all, and we're gonna get done and finished. That's exactly the kind of pressure that I'm wanting to bring on me. I like your answer of at least I'd rather be like on the relief side of it, because it's good to know like you have a chance to be in the game every day. It's not that. I mean, it's their job. They love baseball, but like sitting and just watching a game every like so many days of just like, well, I'm not involved in this at all. I don't know. I want to have a little stake in each game, and I think being a relief pitcher, give me all that heat at the end.
Mm-hmm. Now the closer, it's like I came here to get 3 outs and not 4.
I did a great job. Throw me a beer on my way out. We're done and we're out of here.
That's right. You're like flexing. Then you get to flex. The party starts.
And like also, if someone hits a walk-off on you, you get to just walk away without mentioning or saying anything to anybody.
Right. You don't really get the total boo of the crowd. It'll get lost in the emotion somewhere.
Yeah. You can only deal with what you've been presented. You're not in charge of how the game went.
Yeah. So. You won't be slowly trotting off the field alone, at least. You'll be with the whole rest of your team that won't make eye contact with you on the bus later.
Nobody's sharing AirPods with you to listen to Taylor Swift when you lose the game. Well, this has been great. I'm excited to keep seeing how the season continues. The second half, who's gonna thrive, who's gonna make some big steps, and I'm excited to keep talking about it with you. So
it's been a pretty good season. I don't think it's anybody's game right now. I think a lot of teams have a good shot, and so I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening. Do the liking, do the subscribing wherever you're at, and we'll see you next time.
And Taylor, call me if you see this.